Rajiv Chandrasekaran's non-fiction work, Imperial Life in the Emerald City, Inside Iraq's Green Zone, 2006, provides an in-depth exploration of the fortified enclave that served as the epicenter for the U.S. occupation of Iraq. It vividly illustrates the stark disconnect between life within its walls and the harsh realities unfolding outside. Garnering widespread acclaim upon its release, the book secured a spot as a finalist for the 2006 National Book Award for Nonfiction. Chandrasekaran, an esteemed assistant editor at The Washington Post, boasts a wealth of journalistic experience, having served as a bureau chief in Baghdad, Cairo, and Southeast Asia. His coverage also extended to the war in Afghanistan. Imperial Life in the Emerald City offers an impartial examination of the Emerald City, the American stronghold that functioned as a sanctuary during the post-war period in Iraq. Chandrasekaran's primary focus is on dissecting the U.S. approach to post-invasion occupation, rather than delving into the ethical dimensions of the initial invasion itself. While Chandrasekaran maintains an impartial narrative tone, he critically dissects the actions of the Coalition Provisional Authority operating within the confines of the Green Zone in Baghdad. The book unfolds in two distinct parts. Building the Bubble delves into the enclave's origins and its intended objectives, while Shattered Dreams assesses the accomplishments and shortcomings of the rehabilitation project, highlighting the lessons the U.S. Armed Forces overlooked. To enhance readers' comprehension, Chandrasekaran includes a map of the Green Zone. In the prologue, Chandrasekaran outlines his objectives for the book. He commences by painting a vivid picture of daily life within the walls, underscoring how easily those within the zone can deceive themselves into believing that their strategy is effective. As the era of American rule in Iraq draws to a close, a prevailing sense of resignation permeates the atmosphere, with the perception that the mission to maintain order has all but unraveled. While those within the walls may harbor an illusion of normalcy, the individuals tasked with the daunting challenge of rebuilding a fractured Iraq from beyond the walls bear witness to a different narrative. Chandrasekaran meticulously presents both viewpoints with equal emphasis throughout the narrative. However, his account unmistakably highlights that the period of rehabilitation could, and should, have been managed far more effectively. The fundamental issue within the confines of the Emerald City is straightforward. The formidable challenge of reconstructing a nation competes with the allure of a miniature America flourishing within the zone. The distance from the conflict and danger fosters an environment where it becomes easy to overlook the fact that this is not a paradise, but a fortified stronghold established for a grave and specific purpose. Regrettably, by the time the occupants recognize their complacency and indulgence, it proves too late. Inside the Emerald City, soldiers and bureaucrats succumb to the temptations of discos, alcohol, gambling, and movies, and they cruise around in luxurious cars. Simultaneously, the very Iraqis they are tasked with supporting are categorically prohibited from entering the Emerald City, being perceived as a security risk. The rare Iraqis granted entry are relegated to servile roles. The Americans, ensnared in their vision of democracy, remain oblivious to the tumultuous reality unfolding around them. After an exhaustive analysis of a multitude of internal documents and interviews with numerous eyewitnesses, Chandrasekaran reaches the conclusion that America's influence on post-war Iraq was beset by inevitable problems. In essence, the American ideological framework proves incompatible with the complex needs of post-war Iraq. Transplanting U.S. democracy into another nation with expectations of seamless functionality proves untenable. Following the war, Iraq grapples with a power vacuum, yet instead of heeding the counsel of the Iraqi people and pursuing objectives aligned with Iraqi interests, the Americans chart their own course. This course primarily involves selling off government assets and implementing flat tax rates. Unfortunately, this American focus is overly narrow and profoundly misguided. Instead of prioritizing the restoration of vital services like electricity and the reconstruction of damaged infrastructure, the occupants of the Emerald City become preoccupied with trivial matters, such as introducing a new traffic code and instituting patent protections. As Chandrasekaran aptly points out, in a post-war society, the imperative is to rebuild from the very foundations, with traffic regulations ranking among the least pressing concerns. The American attempts to reconstruct post-war Iraq reveal a profound failure to comprehend the intricacies of recovery from deep and traumatic conflict. These missteps range from unintentional errors to, at their worst, willful misguidance. However, Chandrasekaran adheres to his impartial narrative approach, merely presenting instances of U.S. shortcomings for readers to assess independently. For instance, he sheds light on lesser-known issues such as the preference for loyal Republicans devoid of Middle East expertise over seasoned experts for key roles and the assignment of grossly underqualified personnel to perform high-level tasks in Iraq. Although the Emerald City did serve a purpose, its potential was not fully realized, potentially leading to more harm than good. This conclusion, drawn by Chandrasekaran, serves as a poignant point for readers to contemplate. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.